this is Warhawk Beyond 2040, bringing to another edition of the Wrestling Discussion Series. And today I wanted to discuss and share my thoughts with all of you about what took place on the April 3rd, 2026 edition of SmackDown, involving the reveal of Pat McAfee as the mystery ally for Randy Orton, and why I feel this was the biggest disappointment ever since the reveal of the greater power for the corporate ministry. So, for the past couple of weeks, ever since Randy Orton turned heel, we've seen Randy Orton in a couple of backstage segments talking to someone on the phone. We didn't know who the person was. We never really heard Randy Orton address them by name, but there was a lot of speculation as to who the other person on the other side was. Now, the names that were shooting out were Kevin Owens. A hot one was The Rock, because obviously there was that huge unfinished business between him and Cody Rhodes. So I thought maybe we could get that, but I knew deep down we were never going to get The Rock as part of the show. But you never know. I thought it could have been Ric Flair, which would make a lot of sense because he was Randy Orton's mentor slash teammate in Evolution. Another name that came up was Ted DiBiase Jr., Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton's former legacy teammate. I thought there was a possibility he could get involved, especially as he's now cleared of all charges. But I thought there was no way in hell they could get someone like Ted DiBiase involved in an angle like this so soon after all of the media coverage involving his situation. Another name I heard was Vince McMahon, which quite frankly was laughable. And I thought maybe it could have been Stephanie McMahon. But then, how do you explain Stephanie showing up on Raw and slapping Cody? Which wouldn't have made a lot of sense. But given the history between Randy Orton and Stephanie McMahon, I suppose it's not completely out of the realm. Cowboy Bob Orton was another name that was thrown into the hat, being Randy Orton's Hall of Fame dad. And we've seen Cowboy Bob Orton involved in past Randy Orton feuds, most notably against The Undertaker. But I never ever thought in my wildest dreams that we would get a celebrity as the mystery ally for Randy Orton. So when it was revealed that the mystery ally was none other than Pat McAfee, I'm telling you now, I could hear massive groans of disappointment everywhere. And I saw the picture, I saw the highlights, and I remember sitting there thinking to myself, I haven't felt this disappointed since Vince McMahon was revealed as the greater power for the corporate ministry, which was like 100 years ago. That's how stupid this was. If it had been Ric Flair, yes, it would have been predictable, but at least it would have kind of made sense. Any of those names I mentioned would have been so much better than what we got. And the whole thing was just completely stupid. It really was. Now, I did a video not too long ago about why Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton feud would be epic. Because I said before, Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, they've got the story, they've got the history, they've got everything going for them. It writes itself perfectly. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, that is all you really need. And all I've seen is stupid people like Jelly Roll getting involved, and now Pat McAfee is involved. This is Travis Scott syndrome all over again. Travis Scott was just stupid, but this, I think, even takes the cake. And I've got nothing against Pat McAfee. I thought he was a fun commentator with Michael Cole. But when you've got a big match like this for WrestleMania, you don't really need Pat McAfee, of all people, involved. As I said, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton writes itself. Draw from the history, tell the story. And if you were going to get someone involved, at least bring someone in who's got the history between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, and at least let it make sense. Are you telling me that the guy on the phone for all those weeks was Pat McAfee? Oh my God. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It just made no sense. And seeing Pat McAfee wearing Randy Orton's t-shirts, oh my God, it was just so silly. And then the reason why Pat McAfee has joined up with Randy Orton is even more silly. He cut this promo about how WrestleMania isn't selling well, tickets are low, ratings are down because of Cody Rhodes, all of these silly reasons. And he went as far as to say that Randy Orton is here to save wrestling, he's here to save WWE. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And this build up, and I'm not talking about just Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, the whole build up for WrestleMania 42 has just been so bad. Too many celebrities getting involved. I just don't like it. And Pat McAfee as the mystery ally of Randy Orton was just a huge disappointment. As I said, as big as disappointment this was, I think even this beat the Vince McMahon Greater Power reveal. That's still up there, but I think even this one in recent years really takes the cake. I don't really know what else I can say, really, except this whole thing was bad. It was really bad. And, I like a good reveal if it's done right, if it makes sense. None of this makes sense. It really doesn't. And, I put a picture out there on the community page. It was a meme of Pat McAfee wearing the dark red robe that Vince McMahon wore years earlier. And one of the guys said, "This is our payoff." And I said, "Yep, this is our payoff. This is what we got." Am I happy about this? No, I'm not. I'm far from happy about this. Will there be any good that comes out of this? Probably not, but you never know. I like to be a bit optimistic. I like to think there will be some good that will come out of this. But overall, my thoughts on this reveal was so stupid. I just thought this was so ridiculous. Don't hate it. Hell, I don't even dislike it. It's just like, whatever. If you guys think this is a good idea, roll with it. But we don't have to like this, and we certainly don't like it. But anyway, that's going to be it from me. I'm going to wrap this up now. What do you guys think about Pat McAfee revealed as the mystery ally of Randy Orton? Are you disappointed? Would you have preferred if it was somebody else? Do you think the promo that Pat McAfee made any sense? What do you guys think? Let me know. You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Wrestling Discussion Series. So until next time, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening.